exploring the KwaZulu-Natal region between Pietermaritzburg and the Drakensberg mountain range. It holds great adventure activities for the whole family.
And one of them is the Midmar Dam, a hot spot for adrenaline junkies. And today I'm going to try one of their heart racing activities. Surely all the fun you could ever hope for is here.
After donning her wetsuit, Mpho hopped over to local water sport enthusiast Dave Pitts. He's been a resident of the area for 15 years.
Dave, I thought we were water skiing. What's all this doing here on land?
Well, the general idea is to just give you some basic safety tips and also how to get going, how to get started on the skis. It's much easier to do it on dry land, and then we'll get out in the water shortly.
Dave says the trick is to balance on your toes. You'll have the sensation of falling backwards, but then simply keep your arms straight and try to have fun.
So I just got the 411 on how all of this works, and I'm quite keen and ready to go.
Friends, between you and me, Mpho grew up in Limpopo, far away from any water. This is the Glam City girl's first attempt at any kind of water sport. Her small frame's no match for the mighty Midmar Dam.
Oh my goodness, that was so intense. The force of the water is hectic. I think I'm going to leave it up to the experts.
The region's mild weather makes it a great all-year-round destination. Only a few meters drive from the dam, you'll find Karkloof Canopy Tours. Mpho geared up for the 2-hour route with owner Kai Schultz.
This is where it all begins. This is the first slide. This is where you're actually going to get into the canopy layer of the forest. And now the real adventure begins.
Besides the Tsitsikamma Canopy Tours and this one, what other operations do you have in the country?
Well, this is the Karkloof operation. We were the second one that came about. And then there's 4 other canopy tours in the country. And the 7th one is going to open up in Cape Town at this time next year.
And what makes this one so unique?
And this one is definitely the most exciting. It's got the fastest, the longest, the most beautiful views, and you're really going to have a good time today.
People between the ages of 7 and 70 can join the fun. There are 9 platforms and 8 foofy slides. Mpho's now gliding across the longest one. It's 180 meters.
Whoa!
Trust me.
Amazing! That was the best out of all of them.
The canopy slide concept originated in the rainforest of Costa Rica amongst biologists. Building the route took 8 months of intense labor.
Literally, when you're up there, all your senses come alive. If it's fun, excitement, and great memories you're looking for, it's here.
Keen to take her Midlands adventure to the next level, Mpho had some questions for Warwick Cook before liftoff. Captain Warwick has been piloting hot air balloons for 15 years.
Now, this is a pretty big balloon. What keeps it floating?
It's essentially the hot air that one sees in the canopy above us. And it's the difference in temperature between the temperature inside the balloon and outside the balloon.
And can you take us through the journey from the time we take off till we land? What happens in between?
We first start off with checking the weather. That's our most important thing. Make sure the weather's going to be fine for the day. Then we'll unpack the balloon. We'll lay it out, we'll put cold air into it first, and this makes it stand up on the ground. And then after we got the cold air into it, then we put the hot air in it. And once the hot air is in it, then the balloon comes up, and then we're ready to fly.
And what do you think makes hot air ballooning so unique, particularly in this area?
Well, it's one of the most prettiest areas of the country, the rolling green hills of the Midlands. It's very unique to South Africa, and it just goes with ballooning. And of course, when you get a bit closer to the mountains like the Drakensberg, then the views become really spectacular and special, and we would say probably the best in the country.
Captain Warwick says the balloon costs the same as a big Mercedes and involves a crew of 5 men to get it ready. The thrill's worth it.
Sure, what an absolutely amazing time I've had here. This is definitely one of South Africa's most beautiful hidden treasures, offering greatest adventure and the most astonishing sights.
Absolutely beautiful. And you know what? Adventure is not the only thing that Mpho got to explore while she was in the Midlands. She also got the chance to get together and get a cooking lesson from the executive chef of the Granny Mouse Country House and Spa, Evan Kuzner, who taught her how to make eggs Benedict a la Natal Midlands. So let's see whether Mpho's cooking skills are as good as her adventure skills. Take a look.
Espressos in the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands. The Granny Mouse Country House's chef invented a special breakfast dish in our honor. Here's the recipe.
Today we'll be learning how to make a really quick and easy breakfast with Chef Evan Kuzner, who'll be showing us how to make candied bacon, truffle hollandaise and vanilla crumpets. Sounds amazing. Evan, what do we have here?
We've got our crumpet mix ready-made. We've put fresh vanilla pod in there. We've got our crispy bacon, which we've done on a drip tray. That way we get it really crispy, there's no fat left inside it. Over here we've got our butter and our egg. We're going to use the egg yolk from that, and we're not going to use clarified butter. We're going to use whole knobs of butter to make our hollandaise. We're going to add in some truffle oil, which is going to make it really nice and aromatic. And then we're going to candy our bacon with the sugar that I've played with a bit. What we've done is we've taken the sugar, we melted it down into a caramel, and then we worked it. And then we've blended it up and created a powder from it. And that's going to go on top of the bacon under the salamander, and we're going to crisp it up with that. We're going to add our poached eggs to that. So we've got poached eggs on top of some crumpets with the hollandaise on top, candied bacon, and a little bit of garnish is going to be amazing. We're going to start off by making our hollandaise now. So we're going to add in our onion into the bowl. We're going to crack our egg, put the egg yolk in, and we're going to start whisking, and that will start cooking our egg yolk. And we're going to now add it to the heat. While we add it to the heat, we're going to slowly start adding butter to it.
Add the butter a spoonful at a time and whisk vigorously. Once the sauce is thickened, you may add seasoning to your taste and the truffle oil last.
So next we're going to do the crumpets, right? We've already done our mix. We've added our flour, a little bit of caster sugar, our fresh vanilla pod, which is amazing, and we've added some milk and some syrup. And you can see it's a really nice sticky batter. So we've got our hot pan on. We've got some cutters, which we're just going to place in there. We're going to throw in some knobs of butter. We make sure that these cutters are well greased before we use them. Then we're going to add our batter. Once that starts to bubble, we can then turn it over and we'll crisp up the other side so it's really nice and golden brown.
You'll see it bubble after a minute. Snappily lift off the cutter and flip the crumpet over. You should now see it shape by itself.
And then we're going to move on to doing our candied bacon. So we're going to just take a sprinkling of this really nice sugar over the top. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put it under the salamander just to melt the sugar over the bacon. And because we've already processed the sugar, all it does is forms a nice crusty layer. And now all we've got left is to do our poached eggs.
Add 2 tablespoons of vinegar to a litre of water. Turn down the heat to a gentle simmer and poach the eggs for 2 to 3 minutes for a soft yolk.
Okay, so while our eggs are poaching, what we're going to do is take our bacon out because the eggs are almost ready. It's about another minute left on our eggs. And you can see that they've now created this really nice candied top on there, yeah? Okay, so now we're going to take our eggs out the water. They're perfectly cooked now. We're going to put them onto a dish towel, just so they drain properly, because there's nothing worse than a soggy crumpet.
To assemble, place 2 crumpets on a plate side by side with poached eggs on top. Lay the bacon randomly on the plate and top the eggs with hollandaise sauce. Then garnish with spring onions or chives.
To have the recipe for this candied truffle express, oh, delicious, SMS SAT to 33728 to have it sent to you by SMS. Tasting time.
Also find the complete recipe on Expresso's website and remember to tune in tomorrow as we explore more of the Zulu Kingdom's hidden gems. Delicious. Bon appetit. Explore Mzansi and discover whatever you're looking for. It's here. Go to www.vayamzansi.mobi and book now.